Ball. How much do you guys play baseball?
We played baseball a lot when we were in Charlotte. Played for about 4 or 5 years, and never got into pitching, but played everything else.
Yeah, I know, right? That's shocking. The greatest three-point shooter of all time actually used to play baseball at one point in his life. But you'll see Stephen Curry's journey to the NBA in a few seconds. If you are new to my channel and not subscribed, make sure to subscribe because I drop basketball videos and I cover different topics of the NBA. And don't forget to hit the notification button to get notified whenever I drop a video if you are subscribed already. Once again, it's Third Eye View 195 coming at you with another video. Stay tuned.
Ay, sell it for free. Put no prices on that body, sell it for free. Ay, sell it for free. Girl, you know that body prices, sell it for free.
Stephen Curry was born in Akron, Ohio, back on March the 14th in 1988, during the 1987-88 season, while his dad was playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Steph spent most of his childhood in Charlotte, North Carolina, because his dad was playing for the Charlotte Hornets, and that's the team that his dad played for the most in his NBA career. He was at Charlotte for 10 seasons. Steph would start to play baseball at the age of 8 years old, back in 1996, until his dad came to the Toronto Raptors, and Stephen Curry and the rest of his family had to move as well to a whole different country because of his dad going to a Canadian NBA team. His dad, Del Curry, would end up spending the rest of his career in Toronto until he retired. This is what Stephen said about the time he used to play baseball and why he transitioned into playing basketball.
I liked it, but I was more interested in basketball at the time. So,
Why?
It was more my sport, kind of. I had more. I was kind of better at it. It's basketball, and I wanted to practice some more on it and try to make it to the pros if I have a chance.
Steph could have actually played in the MLB, and you'll see why soon. But choosing basketball over baseball wasn't a bad choice, because his dad enrolled Steph and his younger brother and sister into Queensway Christian College, located in Toronto, Ontario. This was the only school that Steph attended during his time in Toronto, and at the time he was enrolled, he was in grade 8, but he put on a show basketball-wise when he attended Queensway Christian College. A person by the name of Casey Field that attended the school said this: "We were the biggest ragtag group of people ever. We were flat out terrible. We were not a basketball school." But Stephen Curry would turn things around. His coach that coached the Queensway Christian Saints boys team, James Lackey, would say he was this tiny little guy, but when we put him on the court, he was just unbelievable. He was scoring 40 points, 50 points a game, no problem. No one even came close to us that year. He would lead the Saints to an undefeated season with a record of 18 wins and 0 losses. Here are pictures of when he used to play for the Queensway Saints. Steph Curry also played rep basketball in Toronto for a team called Toronto 5-0 in the OBAs, which stands for Ontario Basketball Association at the time, but the name has changed to OBL now, which stands for Ontario Basketball League. The OBL in Canada is like AAU in the States, where kids from different teams from different locations compete against each other to win trophies and medals. Steph Curry dominated in Ontario basketball as well at the time. His Toronto 5-0 teammate, who goes by the name of Tramar Sutherland, who plays in the National Basketball League of Canada, known as NBL Canada, on the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans right now, he even said this about Steph: "I loved playing with him. There were times we would just stand there on the court and watch him do his thing. Coach gave him the ultimate green light." Steph would lead Toronto 5-0 to 33 wins and 4 losses, and they would go on to win the provincial championship. But Steph's time living in Toronto would come to an end, because after his dad Del retired, Steph and his family would move back to Charlotte, and that's when Steph would attend Charlotte Christian School for high school, located in North Carolina. He also dominated there as well. He was named to the All-Conference and All-State team, and he also was the biggest part to leading his team to 3 conference titles and 3 state playoff appearances. Even though Curry dominated in high school, he was only a 3-star recruit, and he wanted to attend Virginia Tech because his dad went there for 4 years, but Virginia Tech never accepted him because it was said that he was too small at the time. He was 6 foot 2 inches, and he only weighed 160 pounds. Instead, he chose to attend Davidson College because they were heavily recruiting him from when he was in grade 10. Despite being looked down upon, he would go on to dominate at Davidson, and he set a few records as well. In his freshman season, he averaged 21.5 points, 1.8 steals, 2.8 assists, and 4.6 rebounds. Curry also led the Southern Conference in scoring with the amount of points he averaged his freshman season. Because of him, Davidson would have a 29-5 record and win the Southern Conference regular season title. On March the 2nd, back in 2007, he would make his 113th three-pointer against Furman in the Southern Conference tournament semifinals, and he would go on to break Kedron Clark's NCAA freshman season record for 3-point field goals made. Steph also broke Davidson's freshman record when he scored his 502nd point against Chattanooga on February the 6th in 2007, and Davidson would go on to win that game 87-57. Steph would go on to be named the Southern Conference Freshman of the Year, a SoCon Tournament MVP, and he would also be selected to the SoCon All-Tournament team and the All-Freshman team, and he was a first-team All-SoCon. Steph would lead the Southern Conference in scoring again in his sophomore season. He averaged 25.9 points, 2 steals, 2.9 assists, and 4.6 rebounds. On March the 30th, back in 2008, he passed Darren Fitzgerald after he hit his 159th three-pointer, which would be the most three-pointers scored in a single NCAA season against the Kansas Jayhawks. But Davidson would unfortunately lose that game 59-57. In Steph's junior season, on February the 28th, back in 2009, he would become Davidson's all-time scoring leader after he scored 34 points in a win against Georgia Southern. Davidson won 99-56. At the time, he had 2,488 points for his career at Davidson, and he surpassed John Gurdy, who was the previous leader in scoring. Davidson would also go on to win the 2008-09 Southern Conference Season Championship for the South Division, and Davidson had a record of 18 wins and 2 losses for the season in the conference. In Steph's junior season, he averaged 28.6 points, 2.5 steals, 5.6 assists, and 4.4 rebounds. He was also the NCAA scoring leader for this season, and he was named to the consensus All-American First Team as well. This would be his last time playing at Davidson because he would declare for the NBA draft afterwards. Stephen Curry would be chosen 9th by the Golden State Warriors in the 2009 NBA draft, which was a great choice by Golden State because many teams looked down on Curry and passed on him, and he was put down by many people. But look at what he is today. He literally changed the game and is the greatest three-point shooter of all time. He's very accomplished, and he broke many records and still has more great things to come in his NBA career. He's a 3-time NBA champion. He's the first unanimous MVP in NBA history. He also made the most three-pointers in NBA history in a single season with 402 three-pointers made. He made the most three-pointers in a game in NBA history with 13 three-pointers made. He made the most three-pointers in an NBA Finals game with 9 in NBA history, and he scored the most points in an overtime period in NBA history with 17 points scored. There's many more records, but I'm not going to name every one. There's too much records to be mentioned. So remember how I said Steph could have played in the MLB? That's true, and he would be a star. Here's why. His college coach, Bob McKillop, said, "I first met Steph when he was 10 years old, and he was a tremendous baseball player. Believe me, he would be in the majors. He played center field and shortstop. You could see him gracing the outfield. You could see his range on the infield. He could do either." Boston Red Sox scout Gary Hughes even said this about Curry: "The Red Sox would love to have him. I'll go with it." The general manager, Bobby Evans, for the San Francisco Giants said, "I will take him." David Forst, the Oakland Athletics general manager, said, "I'm sure it's not surprising to you, but I think Steph would excel at anything he does, including baseball. I could imagine him covering a ton of ground in center field with his instincts for the ball, helping him get great jumps off the bat." There are a lot of similarities in the way a point guard anticipates where his guys and the defenders are going to be, and how a defensive player in baseball anticipates where the ball is going to be off the bat. I see him being a high contact leadoff type of hitter with his incredible hand-eye coordination, and he's stronger than I think people give him credit for. He'd have a chance to surprise with a few runs out of the leadoff spot. Danny Ainge, who actually played baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays for 3 seasons, said, "I think Steph has a great brain, great attitude, and amazing hand-eye coordination, and I think he could easily be a baseball player, a shortstop, or a third baseman, or I can see him in center field. If he would have dedicated himself to baseball at a young age, he probably would have been successful." So this proves that he would be a star in the MLB if he pursued a career in baseball, because these are credible people saying this about Stephen Curry. So as you can see, Steph choosing basketball wasn't a bad choice, and if he played baseball, he would have been a star. But that's it for the video, guys. That's the story of Stephen Curry, and like I always say, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button and comment below. Tell me what you think. Your opinion matters, and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram account. It's the same name as my YouTube channel name, and share this video. Peace.
I eat my French toast, bag of French girl, tell her let's go. Watch me explode like I'm Mentos mixed with that coke. Moving like a groupie, so I back up pronto. Though you a baddie, I'm gon' split my Uber, go get you a taxi.